Give me just a moment here. And give me just a moment. Sorry about that. And now to pop out chat. And we're getting ready. We're getting ready. Yep. Yep. Boo. Oh. Welcome. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, don't forget the whole like, subscribe, bell icon so you know when I'm going on live or if I'm not doing a normal scheduled show or whatever. And the Anycubic Photon, well, it does amazing work. Oh yes. I don't yet have this as a character in any game I'm playing, but because of how this came out, I'm really tempted to play an elven paladin in a future campaign. Anyway, so yeah. So, this afternoon's show, I do not have a patron scheduled. So what I decided to do was to try a genre I haven't done anything for. Sorry again. Eyebrows. Anyway. A genre I haven't done anything for to date. Superheroes. See? It says it right down there. And get a Ralph. I don't know if y'all could hear his... Hey! Cut that out! Do not be tugging on my chair. Do you understand, baby boy? Yes. Yeah, he's got a bell in his collar. Do you mind? Anyway, a superhero. And it's kind of funny that it's coming full circle like this. Do you mind? Anyway, it's kind of funny that it's coming full circle for this, because the geometry that I use as my base sculpting geometry I had originally made about 15-20 years ago. Yes, that long ago. The sole purpose of... oh, you caught my shirt. There you go. Doing meshes and character models for the game Freedom Force, which was a kind of one-part real-time strategy, one-part superhero role-playing game. And so now I'm finally going to be using it again for a superhero. Isn't that right? Yes, that's apparently very right. Do you mind? Come on. Yes. Really? Really? Kitty cat. Well, it's a good thing I don't really have my audience in here yet, isn't it? Can you imagine how my audience would react to you doing this there, Ralph? Can you? And contrary to some people's beliefs, yes, my hands are clean. So's my face. Well, except for the cat slobber. Okay. Are you done yet, Fuzzball? Can I put you down now? Trying to do a broadcast and you get invaded by felines. I mean, how am I supposed to sculpt with this cat? And I'll tell you right now what would happen if I closed that door and didn't let him in. These guys would go nuts. Wouldn't you? You'd be yelling outside my room. Right. Insane fuzz bucket. Put me down. Let me. Yeah. No, you're going back onto the floor. You're going down, little buddy. There you go. Now shoot. I better let people know I'm live because so far no one's shown up because I don't think anyone actually uses that bell icon. So, anyway, like I was gonna say, I'm gonna use this figure to make a superhero. And it's gonna be one based on an old character I actually played in a game of DC Heroes. His name was Red Lance. It was a campaign that was not set in the DC universe. And this is the old Mayfair DC Heroes campaign. No! 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 Ralph? No! Get down now. Ralph? Get down. That's all I gotta do is just shake up a bottle of air freshener. They hate air freshener. Anyway, like I was trying to say, it was the old Mayfair DC Heroes game, but we used a different campaign world, original characters, the whole 9 yards. Salud! And the character had basically the power of energy constructs. Now, in case anyone's wondering, I'm typing because Largashbur has hearing issues. And right now, who else is in here besides me and Largash? I see at least one other watching. I can see there's 3 watching now. Who is it? Yeah, any character with the powers and shape of sea cucumber is only allowed on the adults only channel. Is this Shinju? And this shadow right here, that's Carlton. So, it is now 103. And that means there we go. I've already prepped him. Now, one thing he's not going to have, he's not going to have the underwear on the outside. Like I said, this is based on a character I played. Now, we are going to go ahead and no. Okay. Yeah. There actually is a Dragonfly character, and on at least one occasion, Deadpool claimed to be Planarian Man. Now, what kind of pose is he gonna be in? Can you guess? That's right, he's going to be in a Superman flight pose. Actually, yeah. Yes, we are making into a Superman flight pose. Oh, that's a bit too much twist. There we go. Oh, that's something else I can do. He's in the middle of the turn. No, it's the opposite. Let's go back this way. I'm kind of unbend here. And then take that hip, bend it forward. Okay. Basic pose for him flying. Now we're going to have to add in, well, first of all, Control D, just to get him up a little bit. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Yeah, noodly fingers. The noodly fingers get fixed in every sculpt. I need to really come up with a more permanent solution, but for right now, it's acceptable. One other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to select that waist. I'm going to narrow the waist a little bit, so it's a bit more dramatic. Also, let's unbend here and bend here a little bit more. Give it more of a... Yeah, there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to load in the base. And the base is going to be... Close that. Let's try one of the metal grate. This one... Oh, let me go ahead and... Not great. No, not that one. No. Let's use the diamond plate. First of all, let's go ahead and let's bring him forward just a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to export them individually. First, our buddy here by himself. File, export, broadcast miniatures, new folder, soups, and that'll be superhero body. Accept, hide him, make the base visible, file, export, superhero base, accept. I really should do more modern urban bases, but and then I'm actually going to take it back to here for a moment so that I can open up 3D Studio Max, because I'm going to be making an object for him to represent his power streaking down from having taken off in flight. And this is more like Green Lantern's style, not DBZ. Okay. Now, really, Carlton. Oof. Alright, so we're gonna that's I know you love me, kitty, but I gotta get work done, okay? Import. I have spoiled these daggum kitties. Gonna load in both the figure and the base so I know where to work from. I gotta put you down, Furball. No. No. I gotta put you down. Okay. File. Import. Body. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to basically simply take a sphere, going to move it up and bring it back near the back. And actually we're going to have to take him and move him over to here. Not quite so far over. Export selected. Which is Resculpt Minis, Broadcast New Soups, Wavefront OBJ. Now, the next one we're going to do is we're going to take, well, first of all, we're going to drop this down to about 18. I'm going to drag up. Okay, but this one's going to be smaller. And we attach this one. And then we're going to simply select those, delete, select these. We're going to turn off these, and then we're going to bridge by one, then select there, bridge. Okay, now we hit relax a few times. Collapse all, smooth one, and let's select these guys down here, move them up and flatten them a bit, just so that they stay down below the level of the base. Then we're going to bend it. It has nothing to do with Brian Michael Bend It. Oh, wrong way. Hello. Move the pivot down here. Yeah, there we go. Now we bend. No. Now we bend. And we then bend it. We go back like this. And then we're going to bend it to the side again. Collapse all. Reset transform. Because now it's no longer considering itself to be bent. Yeah. Actually, there we go. That's how we want it to look, and then bending it this way. Collapse all. That is where the energy is going to be from his feet. We're going to tweak the shape of it so it looks more like he's looping off the base. But that's just our raw geometry. File. Export selected. Superhero energy. Export. Done. Okay, well, let me go ahead and close this now. No fuzzbutt. And we're going to import broadcast miniatures, new soups, superhero body. Subtool, append. Import superhero energy. Append. Append. Import superhero base. And with move, we're going to grab this, grab it down, grab this, pull it back up like that. And then we're going to make it. And bring that kind of forward a little. Okay, that's a bit better about the bend of the energy. And of course it's going to be spiky, not so much shaped like that. But yeah, that's the general pose that our flying superhero is going to be in. Let's go ahead, and while I'm thinking about it, let's just sculpt that energy. I'm going to subdivide it a few times. And then we're going to dynamesh it at 256. And then subdivide it until, yeah, 440 should do it. I'm going to go ahead and grab... Oh, come on, don't slip out of my hand. My tablet. Yes, it's... Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab... Oh, come on. There we go. Let's see what Snake Cactus does. Shrink it down. What the hell? No, definitely no Snake Cactus there. Snake Hook. If we use that same alpha. Yeah, there we go. That looks kind of cool. You just kind of draw out some general spiky shapes. So, if anyone's watching has seen the live-action Alita Battle Angel, I've heard good things about it. Let me know if you think that it deserves the good things that people are saying. One of the things I heard that kind of impressed me was that the original creator of Battle Angel Alita, the manga, not the anime version, went to the premiere and came out crying tears of joy and utter happiness. Alright. Interesting shape. Interesting results. But I'm probably going to end up changing... No. The detail look less like energy and more like he's standing on a... Shogoth. So... Dynamesh at 128. So divide, and then turn off the alpha. Just to kind of get them a little bit spikier. Yeah, apparently he came out basically crying tears of joy and practically dancing with excitement. Now, the next thing that we're going to do we're going to go to, actually we're going to have to go take this from the light box, brushes, and where is it? Mallet. Too hard. Drop that intensity down. Want to kind of make it a little bit less organic. No. Let's go with a different mallet. Mallet fast. This is just to give us a nice hard edges to this energy. We're going to be doing another Dynamesh to it here in just a little bit. Now we go to inflate. Well, first let's go to deformation inflate. Well, polish 1. And then inflate. And then polish 20. Okay, we go back to snake hook, drop that size down a lot. And now we're going to make these pointy. No! Get down! Ah! No! You know better than to come up here when I've got the tablet on. Sorry about that. That's what happens when Ralph gets just too hyper for his own good. And you'll notice I didn't even have to do anything besides bark a bit. He managed to hop down on his own. And I'm not liking how this is turning out. It's turning out... I know what to do. What we'll do is we're going to re-import that. And go back to move. And kind of pull this end back, pull this end back. Pull this, whoop, pull this up, pull it back like that. Okay. Now let's subdivide it again and Dynamesh it. Excuse me. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the clay buildup tool, small size, and let's make sure we don't have lazy mouse on. We're going to keep this yeah, here we go. And This gives us more of the flow. Now we're going to polish it 5 times. Okay, and then we're going to Dynamesh it 256. No. 128. Now everything else we're going to do is going to be done with the slash tool. Which means we also have to come up here and turn off lazy mouse, drop this intensity down about there. And we're just going to kind of draw into the gouges. Alright, what would you say is the most amazing superhero musical theme of all time? The one that really makes you think this is for a hero. You know, not this is for a cool movie, but this is the theme song for a hero. For someone who I would trust to rescue me from a burning building or a crashing plane or whatever the danger of the week might be. Okay, now because I know what it is for me. I'm not a huge fan of the character, but the theme song is like the ideal. Alright. Now... Now let's see what happens if I do this. Okay. So it'll give us a bit more. And the reason I'm doing this back and forth is because it'll give us a better overall. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw in some deeper slashes. Okay. Just kind of going back and forth with these tools until I find something that kind of looks good. Like right now it's looking too liquidy. Let's shrink the size and increase the intensity. Okay. Now, geometry. Let's probably divide it there. Now one of the things that we're going to do is, because he wears a full head mask, well first we're going to kind of shrink the mouse a little bit. We're going to then smooth out this area. We're also going to smooth out here. And just kind of, whoop. Just kind of inflate here, because he wears a full face mask. So we want the whole mouth area to be a little bit smoothed out. There we go. Now let's fix the back anatomy, because this is wrong. We're going to smooth that out. We're then going to kind of come from here, come under back towards the back, and then smooth it out. With Alt to kind of dig under, because that's not an accurate area of anatomy on this figure. and kind of pull that under. Alright. Frame. Let's kind of give this just a little bit. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start drawing on the detailing for the costume. Now, some of this is going to be classic, easy, basic stuff that I've been doing. Some of it's not. In case in point, like right here, at the boot. Because they're boots. Let's bring that down. And kind of erase that. Whoop. Erase that. What? Huh. Okay. But anyway, let's get to what. There we go. Shrink it. And erase. There. Erase there. And then add back in here and here. Okay, frame out. We're going to extract this out at 0.02. Draw and draw. Geometry. Dimension 256. Then and intensity down quite a bit, just enough so we can, like, no, up a bit more than that. Yeah, there we go. And now we're going to subdivide it a couple times. Merge down, always okay, and then frame out again, and Dynamesh. There we go. Now we're going to smooth out where it meets. And then now under here, okay. Now, everything else from here will be after the musculature, because this is a superhero suit. It's going to have musculature. No, not Deadpool face. There's many other heroes that have that kind of look. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, move. Need to move that neck in just a bit because that's an unnatural pose for the neck. There. Now we're going to use the slash tool. Low intensity, about 8. And we're going to draw on the basics on the musculature. So for example, we're going to go under there. We're going to smooth that out. Let's reduce the intensity because that's too intense. Okay, then we're going to kind of cut under here. Smooth out. We're going to come back under with, well, let's grab the move tool real quick for that. Shrink it. And grab here and pull out a little. Yeah, there we go. Also need to kind of grab the bicep and pull out a little bit on this one. We're just kind of shaping the arms right now. Like we need to pull out a bit more in the mid forearm for this section. Okay. Now back to slash. After we do this slash, we're going to be using, whoop, that was move. I said slash. After we do this slash, we're going to be using the inflate. To further separate these muscles. Now the bicep attaches right underneath where the deltoid and pectoral kind of meet. And I don't mean meet in that way. Okay. Now these are not ribs, those are the serratus muscles. It's muscles in the side of the rib cage that help it do its thing when it's inflating and deflating for breathing. Okay. Now we're going to smooth. We're going to kind of draw in there. Then we're going to kind of draw out the sharper divisions behind where some of these muscles will be. that, for example. Okay, now starting to get more super heroic in build. Now we're going to kind of inflate some of these areas. We're not. This is one of the rare occasions we're not looking for actual accurate anatomy. We're looking for super heroic anatomy, which affects the proportions. It affects the musculature. It affects a great deal. Okay, so then we're going to come down there. Come down here. There. We're going to come back in with the slash tool in a little bit. Okay, it's a good bit more heroically built. Now, we're going to start adding in the seams on our various portions of the outfit. Hey Mark! We're doing a superhero. So for example, the neck. Okay, we're going to come from the other side. Alright. Because the mask will rest on top of the rest of the outfit. I found a subreddit that makes me extremely angry, by the way. Let's go ahead and draw down from here. No, we want it to go up. Yeah, this particular subreddit is basically for stories about incredibly over... What's the word I'm looking for? It's for parents who think that their child deserves everything everyone else has and that other people don't deserve it because their child doesn't have it. That sort of thing. Okay, and then coming back up around this way. Oh. Okay. Now, the next thing that's going to happen is gloves. Oh, there's a bit too much bulging right here, so I'm gonna... Alright, now the gloves. Let's make it a little bit more intense. Yeah, we're going to come from here down to there, back up again. Come around in front. And Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over here. So, oh, wrong way. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, by the way, the answer to my question earlier, for me at least, in terms of superhero theme that immediately makes me think this is a hero, not this is an action movie, is the Superman theme by John Williams. That's a dramatic theme. Okay, we're going to make it a little bit bigger for the next bits. We're going... oh, no, going up again. Okay. And then this way. Okay. Then we're going to add on, we're not going to have a belt or waistcloth, we're going to add on outer boots. Notice we're going from outside down. Oh, for almost all of this. And coming back with diagonal shots. That's because part of this guy's look involved the whole diagonal bits. Okay. Now the character this is based on was, yes, a character in a DC Heroes game. And he was not a member of any DC Universe aspect because it was an original character. But basically his whole shtick was generating fields of energy. Like Green Lantern. Sorry, I'm having issues right now. My headache. I already took a couple of leaves, so I can't take them again for a while. We're going to go back to the eyes. Now, I'm going to assume that these eyes are actually, what do you call them? Lenses. So we're going to kind of draw around. Oh, wrong way. Now, and slash. Actually, no. At this point, they're no longer lenses. They're actually eyes behind the eye holes of the mask. Okay. Now what we have to do is, first of all, we're going to divide it one more time. Okay. We're going to make sure we don't have any masking on. We're going to Dynamesh. And what we have is 1.333 million polygons. Actually, let's unDynamesh. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use the Move Topological tool, kind of large, and we're going to kind of bring everything over onto where the foot is. So that the foot is fully contained, or fully attached. Because that's our primary point of attachment for the majority of the figure. Okay, that's good enough. Now we're going to frame out and Dynamesh it. And again, we have 1.334 million polygons. Don't ask me why. But now we go to Z plugin. Move him over a little bit. Yes, he is a little forward heavy, but everything except for his head and one forearm and hand and the other hand are over the base. So, I mean, we look down from down below. Okay, his head, this hand, and this arm are not over the base, so he shouldn't fall over unless you've got an irregular surface. Okay, we're gonna go to Decimation Master, and we're gonna use 50,000 points. And no, there's no symbol, because this is a rather generic superhero. You can paint him to be whatever superhero you are playing that's got some kind of energy, whatever lets him fly. Also, not many superheroes really wear super symbols anymore. Okay. And there we go. 100,000 triangles for this superhero. And we're gonna export superhero figure. Yay! Oh. Now, the character that I paid, like I said, his name was Red Lance. His whole shtick was he had energy constructs the way that Green Lantern did. But it wasn't in the DC universe, so he had red constructs. And he didn't have all the other powers. Everything he did, he had to do through the constructs. He didn't fly innately. He didn't have an innate body armor while wearing the ring. He didn't have the universal translator or the interstellar flight speeds. You daggum kitty cat. What are you doing, little furball? Ugh. Are you going to be as annoying as you were at the start of the show? Hmm? What are you doing? Fuzzbutt? What are you doing? As he plants himself on my shoulder. I'll be honest, the best game system I have ever found for playing a straight-up superhero game, especially medium to high power level, is the old May... Oh, let go. Let go, Fuzzbutt. Oh. Fuzzbutt. Go. No. Down you go. So anyway, the old Mayfair DC Heroes game from the 80s, that in the 90s for a short time was available under the name Blood of Heroes. Somewhere in the early 2000s there was a whole lawsuit that began over, did DC own the rights to the game system, or did Mayfair, because the contract was badly worded. And the current owners of Blood of Heroes don't have the money to fight it in court. So for right now, it's a dead system. Except that it's got a huge community who's constantly making write-ups for it. But yeah, that was a character that I played in that game. He had one superpower. It was a power called Force Manipulation, and that was the Constructs. The Ring has a list of powers like that long, up to and including a power called Omnipower, which basically is, if you've got the hero points to spend, you can do almost anything. Almost anything. It's not... we're talking like phase through walls, you know, telepathically contact the rest of the core. All of that nonsense. And they had a flight speed of 40, where every +1 is ×2, and 29 is light speed. Flight speed of 40. No more than 15 in an atmosphere, where 9, the top end of 9 is Mach 1. Two, 4, 8, 16, 13. Basically Mach 50 in an atmosphere. And 2,000 times the speed of light outside an atmosphere. And then they can always warp directly back to Oa, and then back to their sector. So yeah, the Green Lanterns are pretty powerful, even if you don't, even if they're at the post-crisis power level, which is the Green Lantern stats that, you know, the strength of 25 for Green Lantern's constructs, Hal Jordan's constructs. The average Green Lantern was an 18. To give you an idea, 25 is somewhere very close to half a million tons. Tons. They can lift that much, or he can lift that much with a construct. He can create a wall that can withstand that much force. No. Etc. Now, since every +1 is ×2, 15 is 500 tons. Because every 10 is times 1024. 2, 4, 8. That's 4,000 tons for the average Green Lantern in terms of how much they can lift with their ring. And yet Marvel keeps claiming that above 100 tons you can't really measure. So Thor is listed as lifting over 100 tons. Right. In at least one issue, the Hulk grabs an entire daggum train and throws it at... No. No! My gosh. and throws it at Thor. At least this one's being a little sweetie. This one's just being all quiet and sleepy. Anyway, later on in about an hour or two, I'll go ahead and be putting that superhero up on Thingiverse just because. It's a generic superhero. So, anyway. In case you haven't noticed, I'm having a bit of a headache. And I don't mean Ralph. I mean, I've already taken 2 Aleve, and right here is killing me. Really seriously killing me. My sinuses combined with a mild migraine are not fun. Alright. I'll be back on later this evening with Nabin doing the thing. So hopefully, you know, we'll be doing a really interesting character sculpt. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do my, you know, my usual countdown from 5 to 1 and say something like that and go bye-bye until tonight in about another 5.5 hours. Hold on a second. I hate it when it does this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So anyway, there's my hand. And that's gonna be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I wish I only got one kind of headache at a time instead of 2 or 3. And hi, baby girl. Good night. See you in 5.5 hours.